I went to visit this young boy 2 weeks ago, and he presented written work in a book. There was pages and pages and pages of stories. His head teacher was shocked. She said he couldn't write last year. This year he has pages of stories, not digitally written, handwritten. And I said to him, "What's the change?" He said, "It's because AI gives me some ideas to start my stories with, and then I'm off because my imagination goes."
I think that what AI will do is take some of the heavy lifting out of teaching. And we know that recruiting teachers is a challenge, and we know that retaining teachers in the profession is a challenge because of the high levels of workload, and that if AI can help in that way to do some of the heavy lifting of the work and increase teacher well-being and work-life balance, then that could impact on recruitment and retention.
With AI in the right hands, with the right knowledge, it's a game changer. It really is. It's here to stay. I'm Dr. Lucy Caton, and I'm the Centre Lead for AI in Education at the University of Greater Manchester. I am not computer science around AI. I know AI has been around for a long time. What I am here for is to understand the impacts of generative AI on teaching and learning, both for students, staff and the wider education sector.
I'm Liz Birchinall. I'm the Programme Co-Director of the Primary PGCE at the University of Manchester. We started a 3-year longitudinal research project into the use of AI in our teacher training programme. We work with over 150 partnership primary schools in Greater Manchester. Our use of AI was how they would use it on their teaching practice, on their teaching placements with their classes. How might it help them? How might they use it to make resources for their teaching? How might they use it to help with planning? So it was a very specific use of AI that we were exploring.
This particular research is co-constructed with students and teachers. It's been really important to get student voice on this particular piece of research, because most of the time policy and practice is done to certain students rather than with them. Some of the ethical concerns for me is around the safeguarding of human agency. There's this very quiet transfer of agency when we're using AI systems, that we're becoming quite passive in our knowledge making with the machine. And what will happen very quickly is the AI will start to make the decisions, will start to do the interpretations, will start to generate the critical thinking, will start to take over the creative process.
Interestingly, when we started the research problem, we were concerned that teachers would just use AI to create their lesson plans. They'd download it and just deliver it without thought or intervention or addition. And actually what we found, that they used it less for lesson planning because they had their own ideas already. They knew what their lesson wanted to look like. They had their own creativity, their own thoughts. And they used it more to make the resources that they needed to use in the lessons. And so they were adapting and making resources to make the lesson better.
And so for me, it's less about the AI, but more how we safeguard human agency, human creativity, human struggle, human uncertainty.
We had a teacher who wanted to, with the Key Stage 1 children, wanted to make a puppet show, a finger puppet show under the desk. So her fingers would be above the desk. So she asked AI to write the script for the puppet show. So that took some time out, which allowed her to do other things.
Another school, for example, is using what they're calling AI polish pods. So students, this was in the primary sector, students anything between, I think they were 8 and 11 or 10, would go to a certain area, so move themselves into this area as a group and work with the teaching assistant to look at the output with AI and discuss it critically. They're calling it an AI polish pod, so we can start to think about what this output is with AI and how we can come to question it. there is a slow shift now where the teaching assistant may be superseded by AI because the student is able to have these, at the moment, these Socratic dialogue with an AI system. I would advocate against that. We need teaching assistants. They're an absolute crucial part of the classroom ecology, and students need that interaction with humans. But there is this worry around the displacement of jobs. There's also worry about environmental and sustainability in AI, particularly in student groups as well, who are now becoming more aware of environmental, social justice and sustainability impacts. So I think building that into AI literacies is also a valid way forward.
On our programme, we didn't force anyone to use AI. It was completely voluntary. Some trainees refused to use it, and they refused to use it because of the environmental concerns they had over the huge energy that AI servers used, and also the amount of water that's used to cool the AI farms as well. So some, for ethical and moral reasons, said we're not touching it. We also had some trainees who were concerned about outsourcing their own thinking, and they therefore decided not to use it as well.
But we are at a cross-section of time now where us as teachers know what it was to learn back historically. But as we look forward, there's going to be a very different shape of what it means to learn, to know, to be part of those learning communities in association with AI. It's here now and it's embracing it. But there are a lot of cautionary notes.
One of the fundamentally important basics when you have a class is building relationships with the pupils in your class, and being able to make a classroom that feels safe and welcoming and conducive to learning.
What I would like to leave well with is how we may refocus on practice and look at those human-centred activities and how we build AI into those rather than building teaching and learning into AI.
I think it's important that you understand AI as best you can. So if you're unsure, if you're reticent, I think it's worth researching and finding out what it can and can't do. What can AI do? What can't it do? What's it good for? What it's not good for? And have a go.